Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Oscar Rios. I'm in section 2 of Professor Aracon's criminology class, along with the rest of you, and today is going to be a bit of a different topic. Rather than focusing on how a specific social or criminological theory is exemplified in a specific case, or whether or not that is the case, today we're going to be talking about my personal opinion as to which criminological theory best fits the overall causes of crime in our society, and that is, in my opinion, going to be the social structure theory. So, strain theory, social disorganization theory, and subculture theory. Particularly, I am quite fond of, or not fond of, but I see strain theory as the most blanket way to describe the causes of crime in our society, with poorer classes being uh, affected the most by strain and stress, not just economical, but psychological and other ways they can be stressed at. That leads to crime. I wouldn't go as far as to dip into the Marxist theories of believing that this is an issue with the economic structure of our society. I believe this is simply an issue of resources not being put where they need to be put. I don't think we need a social upheaval to see crime diminished within lower income communities. But I do see that how the social structure theories do play a role into why crime is. And like I said, particularly strain theory, as we saw in the cases of James and Mustafa when we talked over that specifically, the economic strain on their family caused them to uh, eventually lead them to a life of crime, with their mother not being able to support them financially, coping psychologically with drugs and alcohol, leading them to be not raised properly. And then we get into things like social disorganization theory, where this, like I said, resources are not put into the right places where they should be. And I think this goes a little bit off of strain theory, but I still think it is important when discussing strain theory, that when we see those things when we see the economic strain pulling even something as a resource as simple as a parent's attention away from the home, that's when we see things like discipline and becoming a productive member of society start to take a back seat to simply trying to live comfortably or survive. And once again, that in turn leads into subculture theory, and this is why these theories are bundled together under social structure. When we see that disorganization happen as a result of strain, subculture takes over in the form of gangs and people finding their own forms of structure in their life when the the overall social structure is not there for them. So, just to reiterate, I believe strain theory is the most important uh, theory and the most accurate to describe the reasons we have crime in our society. And I truly believe that if resources and such were allocated better, or if people had the more education as to where they can develop these resources, or maybe even simply open them up to more resources, we could see a lowering of crime to a large degree. Now, I do believe to some extent in rational choice theory, where the criminals simply make the active choice to commit crimes. However, I think those cases are going to be rarer, and I believe looking at things from the strain theory perspective is going to be our best bet in terms of overall lowering crime. Thank you.